Maybe movies. Hello and welcome back to Maybe Movies, one of the last bastions of entertainment on the platform that isn't being plagued by Google ads.
There's a shocker.
Dun dun dun.
How you doing? My name's Max.
I am Sam.
I am Shane.
And we are a movie review show with a difference, where we just play around with films that we love, and just so we can bask in their glow for a bit longer. If you've been with us this month, then you'll know that we're looking at Event Horizon and the Black Hole. On Wednesday, we finished Act 3 of our new vision of Event Horizon called The Event Hole. Desperately trying to keep a straight face for once.
Yeah, there's a shocker.
And today we will be looking at Act 1 of our new vision of the Black Hole, simply called Black Horizon. Before we do that, I'm just going to do a very quick shout out. This is for one of our more recent subscribers.
Okay.
This is for Nate from NateVlog.
Oh, yes.
Who does a lot of kind of adventure vlogs, places where he's travelled to, things like that, but also does some kind of unboxings and product testings. I think I watched one the other day of him testing a hemp oil face mask.
Okay.
A what now?
Yeah, it's like a face mask including hemp oil.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing with us, buddy.
You know, he's been one of the few people recently who's been leaving comments and that I haven't got round to doing a shout out for. So thanks for your support, buddy. And as always, say to everyone, please do keep up the great work that you're doing on the platform. Back to the 80s.
It's a bit of a simpler first act.
It is a bit of a simpler first act. So it's a very, again, Disney dark, and it's about to get even darker.
Indeed.
Just for something for us to chew on as a possible super objective for the story. Obviously, in Event Horizon, the Event Horizon is it wants a new crew to take back to its hell dimension. What if the purpose of the ship, when it's waiting for the optimum moment to open its gravity drive as it crosses the Event Horizon into the black hole, to drag a massive area, probably several light years across, of space, including those systems, into the hell dimension with it, possibly even setting off a chain reaction that ends the universe.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
So the Black Horizon is the Black
It's
Horizon.
gone from existential to apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh. I like it. I like it.
I like that.
It looks shiny.
How much do you like it?
Damn it. Yeah.
Oh, let me make the one.
One behind you.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
So, but from the top, we meet the crew of the Palomino. So you've got Dan Holland, I think it is, the captain.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Pfizer, or Pizer, I think they pronounce it.
Lieutenant Pizer.
Yeah.
P-I-Z-E-R.
Kate
Dr.
McRae.
Huh?
It's Kate, isn't it? Dr. Kate McRae.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Kate McRae. Dr. Durant.
Harry Booth, he's a journalist, is he? That's what they seem to suggest.
I thought he was a corporate... I thought he owned the company that...
He's the corporate investment in the ship.
He's the Gorman.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
I think so. I think that's what it's meant to be.
Everybody hated Gorman.
Because he was a great character.
And of course you've got Vincent as well, amazingly as always, voiced by Roddy McDowall.
Fantastic actor.
Yes. I think, again, one of the other things to very quickly touch on this is, unlike the other one, we have two members of our team who have psychic abilities, including a robot.
Vincent and Dr. McRae.
Yes. Which is going to make things interesting, because then I think that means, unlike, like Star Trek, where you've got Data who is immune to all of those kind of things, Vincent is possibly susceptible.
My personal take was that Dr. McRae would be the stand-in for our Justin, being an early victim of the ship because of her psychic sensibilities. And I think that Vincent is Dr. Weir in the scenario. He's the voice of absolute logic.
He is a bit condescending, isn't he?
Yes. My bid would be that it's Vincent who's going to be corrupted by the ship.
Yeah, I fucking, absolutely.
Thank you.
Take that
Thank
shit,
you,
man.
I'll take that.
Oh, I love it. We would get the same bit at the beginning where they're flying through space.
Yes, with the gravitational deviation and all that shit.
They find the ship, they do the scan on it, so you'll still get that little bit like you see where they bring up all the other ships, but obviously it will find... So maybe they'll do recent ships and they go, right, let's go further back.
Yeah, and it will eventually come up with the event horizon, and they're like, oh my god, that was lost 100 years ago.
Yeah. Now, the question with this I have is... What are we saying? Because obviously they covered up the original, what happened to the event horizon to the outside world. Are we far enough in the future that is now considered to be, it's no longer in the public interest to guard that secret?
Well, I think it would just be listed as a missing ship.
We want to keep it that they don't know beforehand that it has this gravity drive.
That'd be a really good idea, because once they come across it, they'll be like, hang on a minute, let's check the records.
Records redacted. So again, it sets up the mystery already.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the idea is that the ship would be reported missing, but nobody reported that it had the gravity drive.
Yeah. Possibly for Booth, but also it would be a nice incentive, because I must admit, I was originally looking at, just because it's Anthony Perkins, as Durant as being the one who might get corrupted. Because he's the one in a black hole who wants to stay, doesn't he?
I like the idea that at the
Vincent
beginning it would seem like Anthony Perkins is being corrupted, but in the end it would be Vincent that was corrupted.
Your favourite thing? Layers.
Layers, baby.
Yeah.
Like a fucking onion.
Damn thing! It's here somewhere.
One of these days we'll catch it.
Yes. Have to get a net. Not Annette.
Annette. She was terrified.
Initial deviation, they try to do the flyby, get almost sucked into the black hole.
But what I was going to say as well is when they find out again there's all this stuff about the ship that's redacted, possibly for Harry Booth as the corporate man, but also for Durant as well,
Yeah.
it's a chance to actually find out what happened. There's a secret here. We can be the ones to solve a secret that's eluded mankind for 90 years.
Yeah, that's a nice touch. Yeah, that is a nice touch.
But yes, sorry, as you were saying, we get the saying, they pull back.
Do their flyby, they get too close to the gravitational well, start to get sucked in. I'm thinking it's whilst they're within the well of the gravitational thing that Dr. McCrae would start to get flashes of what's beyond the event horizon.
Yes.
So that's where she would become the first victim of the ship, even though nobody knows it at the time.
Okay, so what are we saying is going to happen to her? So, just before we do, again, another, you were saying about the parallels between this and Event Horizon. They've both, although they're very different, handled in very different ways, they've both got somebody losing the ship and having to come back to it, because that first bit, Vincent kind of has to fly himself back, doesn't he? He has to shoot the cable to get back onto the ship, similar to Cooper.
Yes, absolutely. But, they get sucked towards the well of the event horizon. Dr. McCrae starts to freak out, and over the PA system comes that transmission.
Oh, yeah.
Just to properly
with the voices and
lure them
then
in.
all the screaming and shit.
Yeah.
No, that'd be too early.
Well, no, I mean, that was their only transmission that they knew about the ship.
Yes, because they had that, because Weir brings it with him. The original, before they clean it up.
Transmission, but they don't hear the words, because it's too...
It's too garbled.
It's too garbled.
Too garbled, so it takes them a while for them to clean it all up.
It's just enough. The ship is just sending that out as an extra bait.
When Dr. McCrae freaks out, that's when the PA goes mental and broadcasts this somewhat horrible sounding transmission.
Do we need to make any kind of reference to the fact that, again, we're 90 years in the future, their sensors are more sophisticated than what the Lewis and Clark has?
Yeah.
Is there a chance that they would be able to get a better reading? Because when they get these disparate life signs throughout the ship...
The Palomino, they didn't rely on sensors. They relied on Dr. McCrae going, I sense people, I sense life signs.
Yeah.
Oh, they do, don't they? Yeah, he's right. He's right, yeah. Okay.
So she's just freaked out, but she's like, no, there's someone alive, there's something alive over there.
Yeah. Because again, what we were saying before about, again, this ship doesn't have all of the safeguards that the Cygnus had to keep it in place. But again, it has the gravity drive.
Which is
what's
essentially
holding
the same thing.
Yes, so yeah.
The same technology, but approached from a different direction.
Yes.
This is containing a black hole. This is containing the gravity of a black hole.
Yes.
To control it. They're both essentially operating on the same scientific principles.
So again, unlike the other one, they'll have to go in spacesuits. So who we're sending in first?
So who do we have? Sorry. So obviously Vincent has to go with them.
Yes, Holland will go.
Of course, because he's the captain. And it sounds like Lieutenant Pizer, because he's sort of the engineer.
Yeah, he is. So he would have to go in.
I think we should get a moment then where they would, again, because we are talking about, again, film made in the early 80s, they'll probably say, no, Dr. McCrae, you have to stay here.
Well, no, I figured she's passed out by this point.
Yeah, she would have passed
And
out.
it's Dr.
so
Durant going, I should be there. I'm a scientist. I understand the significance of this ship.
so-
And they're going, no, you've got to stay here because
Yes.
you're familiar with its layout. We need to be guided and have that same conversation.
So we can,
yeah.
if you want to keep it then, as you were saying about McCrae being the first ones to go, once they're already on the ship, there's a moment where she's left alone for a moment and she gets up and goes herself.
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
Do we want to?
like
Do we want it to be that
Yeah,
quick?
I mean, she could go by herself, completely bypassing everybody else, because
Yeah, just wander off into the ship.
the rest of the crew don't even know that she's got up and gone missing. They don't even know she's on the ship with them.
See, unlike Justin being sucked in, she's being guided by the psychic presence of the ship.
Yeah.
It does work. I think it works.
No, she would have to be in. She would have to get into a suit, wouldn't she?
She would have to get into a suit.
Yes, because at this point there's no
There's
atmosphere.
no atmosphere. Yeah.
But that makes it easier because then people would just see someone in a suit and think it was one of their crewmates that they saw further down the corridor, but it's her sneaking into the ship.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
So it'll be Charlie who goes to engineering, won't it?
Charlie Pizer, yeah.
So we've still got Alex and Harry are still on the ship. Are still on the Palomino.
Do we want Vincent to go forward and be corrupted by the seductive message of the ship's log?
No.
Or do we want Vincent to go back to engineering and be...
It should be Vincent who goes back to engineering, because when McCrae comes in, that way, obviously he will know that she's come in, but if he's already been corrupted, he doesn't say anything.
Actually, I like that.
So
Dr.
we can
McCrae, shouldn't you be resting?
get that moment in the back where you see her come down towards the gravity drive itself, and you see the swirling bits where it kind of that bit
Comes
where
together
gets,
and creates the liquid.
and then just off to one side because he can be at any height. There's Vincent just there watching and not doing anything.
Yeah.
I like the watching, but I kind of like the... Dr. McCrae, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah, he could say that, and he's just watching.
And then the pulse wave comes out and
Yes.
hits Vincent.
Of course, and that's the trigger, isn't it? Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
I just like the idea of Vincent being a neutral observer. He's like, she's not in danger. Are you sure you know what you're doing, Dr. McCrae? Boom. Kill everyone.
Kill all!
No, that's
Swallow your soul. Swallow your soul.
Dead by dawn. Sorry.
No, you don't have to apologise at all. Right, okay, so that's when McCrae gets properly fucked up and is comatose and has to be taken to the medical
and
bay.
also quite neatly, it makes it less. There's less of a reliance on us to have to worry about the psychic side of it.
Yes,
She's kind of out of the action for a while.
and the other psychic person is now corrupted.
Yes. Which kind of is that's kind of the end of Act 1. That's when
And
we
the
call
Palomino gets damaged and
Yes.
everybody has to evacuate.
Yeah, so that is the end of Act 1.
That is, yes.
Fantastic. That was easy.
Done.
All of this happening to that wonderful John Barry score.
I was prepared to continue on, but no, of course that's Act 2.
Fantastic. So that gives us some stuff to think about.
It's a few things to play with.
Very, very quick one today. So we're going to put our heads together and have a bit more of a mull on this. And we will be back next Wednesday with Act 2 of Black Horizon.
I like that title.
It works, doesn't it?
It really works.
It's a lot less suggestive than the event hole.
There's also that.
So please do have a wonderful weekend. Have a brilliant start to next week. We will see you on Wednesday. I'm going to have a think about with the poll. I normally put it up on the Wednesday.
Put it up a couple of days later?
Possibly. Mm-hmm. I might put it up when the last show goes out. It really depends on when we shoot.
Of course it does.
So I will let you know for definite though on the next one. Anyway, until then, take care.
As always, guys, TTFN.
See you later.
Ba 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 ba.